Bitcoin getting crushed again. It is now off 16% since hitting all-time highs earlier this month.
But the bank also pointed to tens of billions of pounds in extra savings by households who have not been able to spend, but at some point could be unleashed. Another much-needed shot in the arm.
Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Focus on Finance. In today's episode, we continue speaking with our special guest from Belgium, Hafiz Sikandar. In the first episode, we spoke about financial sacrifice, and he explained to us the sayings from the Holy Quran, from Malfuzat, from Hadith, and also gave us some examples of financial sacrifice and the benefits that Ahmadis have shown and gained from in Africa. Hafiz Saib, perhaps you can give us some more examples of financial sacrifice.
Jazakallah, Shafique Saib, for this question about some examples. You know, by grace of Almighty Allah, example of financial sacrifices in our Jamaat. I mean, whether in Mauritius, in Rodrigues Island, I can give you the example of Rodrigues Jamaat, for example. Alhamdulillah, you know, most of our Ahmadis in Ahmadi members in Rodrigues, most of them, they are farmers. And I remember when I was in Rodrigues, they will come and pay their chanda. And despite that, it was not easy for them, but they understood that the financial sacrifices is very important if you want to attain the nearness of Allah. So I remember that in Rodrigues Jamaat, by the grace of Almighty Allah, for the building of the mosque, and they are helping others. The members of the Jamaat have always been very active in Rodrigues Island too. And Alhamdulillah, it continues whenever the Jamaat, asking for the financial sacrifices from our members of the Jamaat, whether in Rodrigues or in Mauritius.
Jazakallah for that. Do you have some examples from Mauritius?
As now for Mauritius Jamaat, by grace of Almighty Allah, you know, the Jamaat now more than a century, and each of us can give their own example about how our parents and our grandparents have been making very huge sacrifices to attain the nearness of Allah, and also the nearness and the pleasure of Allah. As you know, in the past, Mauritius Jamaat, the base of Mauritius Jamaat itself is based on financial sacrifice. You know, in the time when the first missionary was sent by the Khalifa of the time, and the members of the Jamaat were asked to offer financial sacrifice. What they were doing at that time, some, as I mentioned in one of my program, my live program in Mauritius last time, it was, they will be having some money in their hand, and they will just sometime not taking a public transport, so they will save this money of for the bus or train, whatever it was at that time, and they will come and give this money. They will come walking, and this money they will give it to the Jamaat or their chanda. At that time, people were not earning as now in our time. What everyone, they are earning and they are paying the chanda. But I think that this kind of sacrifice, the base, as I said, the Jamaat, it is based on financial sacrifice. Today, we can see a Jamaat or Mauritius. Not only, we are for our own expenditure, for our Jamaat, our need, our current expenditure, but even the Jamaat is at this level that we can also, helping other Jamaat around the world. This is it is very great. And the Jamaat, our project, all kind of project in Mauritius, it is our own, with our own money, the sacrifices our members of our Jamaat. So even when we were still young, we have been seeing our parents, how they were going to Darussalam and paying and get the receipt, and also to see that they are always, update with their financial sacrifices. So Alhamdulillah, in our Jamaat have been mentioned as a model, an example for so many other Jamaat around the world that for these financial sacrifices.
Jazakallah. And now, do you have some examples from Africa?
Now, this is one example what I wanted to give you. I want also to tell you that a few years ago, I was sent to Benin to, for the Jalsa Salana of the Jamaat Ahmadiyya of Benin to participate in it. So together with, at that time, Vakil Umar Sani Sahib was also in Benin. He was sent by Huzur to see if we can also encourage the African Ahmadi members also to join this wasiyat. They can also become musi and also to be part of this blessing, which the blessing which was promised by Allah to Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam. So I remember that we were in a mosque, and Vakil Umar Sani Sahib, he was, during his speech, he was talking about the necessity of and the importance, if you want, about wasiyat, the scheme of wasiyat. And I was translating from Urdu to French, and he was explaining that that the 10% of your income should be given, and all the details to become a musi, the conditions. And the time come, one of the Ahmadi, African Ahmadi member, he stood up and he asked, but we don't have a fixed income, but we are all, most of us, we are farmers, so how can we also be part of this wasiyat? Then he said that, when you, after the, every 6 months and every year, whenever you are having your harvest, you have your income, net income, then you give, after selling all your products, so just give 10% of it. And then the man, he sat down, and I saw so many members, and I think that it is very important to mention that these people who are sitting, most of them even they were not wearing, clothes in a way you can say this was the best of clothes they had. And I know that so many of them, they are sitting here, they were listening to Vakil Umar Sani Sahib. But I know, because as I work in Benin, as I serve as missionary in Benin, I know that the financial situation, but sometimes they will eat only 1 meal a day. Sometimes they will not eat even, they don't have, but they were listening that we have to be part of these financial sacrifices. So what happened is that I saw some members, they were leaving, going out, and me myself, I did not know why. But after the program, so many of them, they were standing in a queue and start filling the forms of wasiyat. I'm not telling you about the people who are earning money, fixed amount every month. I'm telling you about people who don't have even a full meal a day. And they are signing, they are filling the form of wasiyat. So after that, we finished, we made the dua and so on, as a normal program. When we went out, I saw so many African Ahmadis. They were standing outside with sheep, chicken, corn, bananas, and Wakil Mal Sani Sahib asked me, said, Hafiz Sahib, what is all this thing? Shafique Sahib, you will be surprised to hear that they said to Wakil Mal Sani, because I translated, because Wakil Mal Sani Sahib said to me, ask them, what is all this? They said, but you have just now mentioned in your speech that if we have any amount of money from our plants and our farms and so on, we should give 10% of it. So we have our 10%. We do not want to wait more. So that is why this is our 10%. I mean, from our chicken, from our sheep, from the bananas, from the corn, and so on. So you see, the financial sacrifices is for everyone, and when people they do it, they do such kind of financial sacrifices is just for the sake of Allah, to get the nearness of Allah. This is some example I can give you myself for Africa.
Thank you. But now you're based in Europe, Hafiz Sahib. Do you have some examples from Europe?
It is very important that I tell you about some financial sacrifices in Europe too. You know, in Europe, I mean, I told you about the situation in Africa. Here in Europe, mostly people are worldly, you know, and people are just running behind, you know, materialistic things. And it is not even easy for people to give their money for the sake of Allah, to attain the pleasure of Allah. But it is unique that even here in Europe, by grace of Almighty Allah, people are doing huge financial sacrifices. And I mentioned, I want to mention it again, as Huzur said, it is just the truth. It is one of the signs that it is a truthfulness of Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam, that the members of the Jamaat are doing such kind of sacrifices. You know, in a mosque in Brussels, we were in need of millions of euros to be able to complete this project, which Huzur gave to us. And Huzur said that you yourself, you have to ask the members of the Jamaat, and you will do it by your own. So Jamaat each member of the Jamaat should contribute for it. So we start going to each Jamaat in the mosque, and you know, trying to motivate members to give financial sacrifices for this mosque. As you know that for us, it is ongoing. After one project of a mosque, now we have bought another plot of land, and we have bought more land, and we want to continue, I mean, this scheme of building mosque in Europe. So how was the project of it? What kind of example I can give to you is that once I was in a mosque, I was telling the members that this sacrifice in Africa, this is what Huzur is saying, this is what the Quran said and the Hadith, the saying of Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam. You know, Shafique Sahib, that I'm the one, I witnessed that small girls, I mean Nasirat, they came to me and they were removing their earrings and they were giving it for the sake of Allah, to attain the pleasure of Allah, to the nearness of Allah. So I saw some boys who came with a box. They were saving money for their own project, and they came and said, Murabbi Sahib, this is the money for Allah. We want also to be part of it. I mean, it's small tifl, the atfal. And they opened the box and just put everything on the table, and he said, all what I have, this is what I'm giving. So this is, I mean, even our children, Allah Ta'ala could, I mean, put this spirit in their heart. And this is only the parents, when they will follow this kind of sacrifices, you know, just to gain, I mean, to attain the pleasure, the nearness of Allah and His pleasure. This is the result you can have. Example.
Thank you very much. Do you have some more examples for us?
I want to give you also more example in Belgium here. When I finished my speech in some mosque, I saw some lajna. They were standing outside with a box of their jewelries. And they said to me, Murabi Sahib, please take this box of jewelry. Because I went home and I said, the lajna in they could build a mosque in the Masjid Fazl. Was built by the lajna themselves. And you know the sacrifices. Hazur mentioned a lot of it, how they sold their jewelries for it. And Khadija Mosque also. So many examples we can give that the lajna, how, and this example I want to give you also in Belgium, that the lajna, they were standing with a box of jewelries, which they got as, for their wedding and gift and so on. They said to me, as dowry, they said to me, Murabi Sahib, before my heart become weak, because you know the women are so attached with their jewelry, before my heart become weak, please take it from me. I know that Allah Ta'ala said that if you build a mosque, you are part of it, Allah will build a house for you in the paradise. So I want to be part of it. So you can imagine that how I could see people doing such kind of financial sacrifices here in Europe. As I said to you, that in this worldly, in this world here, people are so worldly, materialistic life. Despite that, people are giving their money. The children are giving the Nasra giving their earrings, the women giving their jewelries, the children are giving their saving. So I want also to give you some, people are doing some different kind of businesses here in Europe. So what happened that a man came, he said, Murabi Sahib, you invited us to come and to listen about financial sacrifices because we are going to build a mosque. So I was going, this is my money, I have 10,000 euros in my pocket. He put it on the table, he said, please take it from me. I want please to take it from me. I know that I'm going to buy things for my shop. Allah will make other arrangement for me. Please take it from me. So you see, such kind of financial sacrifices, it is always, our members of our Jamaat, when we have a project, all of us, we have to say, Sami'ana wa atwana. All kind of example. I can continue giving you, examples here in Africa. I can give you such kind of example here. I know, even in Belgium, so many people, they went and sold their car. They said that Allah will give us better than this. Please take this amount of money from us.
Thank you for that once again. Do you have any other anecdotes from other missionaries you could share with us?
I met Murabi Sahib of Norway. He said to me once, Murabi Sahib, our mosque in Norway, in Oslo, that there were a big project of a mosque there for millions of euros. So he said that once Hazur came there, he said to them that Hazur motivated them, the members of the Jamaat, to be part of this project. He said one man, he went in his house and to his house, and he said to his wife that I have decided something. I want you also to see if you agree with me. His wife said, yes, we want you to share what you have to tell us. He said that I went to the mosque today. I heard that Hazur said that we have to be part of this, of the mosque. We have to contribute for this. It is not only a project of a mosque. Jamaat can have big project. We have to be part of it. As for the mosque of Oslo, he said to his wife, the man, he said that I have decided to sell my house, and we are going to rent a house, and the amount of money we will get after selling the house, I want to give everything to the Jamaat. So he sold the house, and he gave all the money, hundreds of thousands of euros, and he gave it to the Jamaat. And he said that he said maybe after a few months or a year, Allah has given him bigger house, what he sold for the Jamaat. You say, it is just, your full tawakkul in Allah when you want to make sacrifice. When I'm talking to you, it makes me also to remember one of our Ahmadi in Belgium here. He also I'm coming back to Belgium Jamaat here. The man said that after listening of the speech of the Murabi in the mosque, he went home. He said to his wife that I want to give 2,000 or 3,000 euros for the mosque. His wife said, why you want to give only a few thousand? Why don't you give more? As you know that we are not blessed by having children in our life. Maybe when you will give such kind of sacrifice for the mosque, maybe Allah will also give us children. He said that yes. He said from this promise, I promised more than 3,000, 4,000 something. I increased it by 3-4 more amount of euros, and I went, and he said that by time I start paying the amount of money, and by the grace of Almighty Allah, after so many years, today I can say that because of this good intention, Allah has given us, we are blessed by 2 children today. So is it not, something that Allah Ta'ala, as He said, that He will return you back 700 times more? So when we make sacrifice for Allah, why we do it? First of all, we feel a sakina. We feel that we have, the peace of heart, that when we are making something, we are doing something. Our money, where are we getting it from? Is it not from Allah? Allah, each amount of money we are getting is just for the sake of Allah. That is why I used to, when I was in Mauritius, when I met so many families of the Jamaat, I said to them that you remember that how our parents, our grandparents did a lot of sacrifices. They were walking to come to the mosque, and they saved the money of their transport to give it to the Murabi. Today, you yourself, are you not a witness that you don't have, sometimes many families don't have place to park their car. So many cars Allah has given to them that they don't have place even to park their car inside their yard of their house. They have to park sometime on the road. So that's why we tell you that they walk. They did not have cars. Today, how Allah has bestowed. It is not a matter of only cars or something like it. It is just for the good intention our parents did. Allah Ta'ala has rewarded us, spiritually and also materially, also Allah has given to us.
Indeed, Hafiz Sahib, you are quite correct. The benefits of financial sacrifice are very evident in the Jamaat of Mauritius, especially when you look at the cars. Even in the mosque, sometimes it's full to overflowing. And I remember when I used to visit Mauritius as a child, effectively, most people did not have cars and walked to Dar es Salaam. Now there are many mosques and people drive to their mosques. We in Mauritius are now in the process of making some big projects and asking for financial sacrifices. Are there any final words of advice you would like to give to us here in Mauritius?
May Allah Ta'ala make it a blessed project which Jamaat of Mauritius you are having. May Allah Ta'ala put a lot and open the heart of our Ahmadi members and make them to be more generous and continue, inshallah, giving for the sake of Allah, and let them be blessed, and their generation, their children coming, let them continue benefiting from such kind of blessing as today we are so lucky. We cannot say lucky, we are so blessed, to be part of this extraordinary sacrifices our grandparents did, and our parents they did, we are doing, and if we will continue doing it, then our children also will continue. Our coming generation, they will continue having such kind of rewards from Allah. So, Jazakallah for inviting me.
No, Jazakumullah to you, Hafiz Sahib. This has been a very faith-inspiring episode. Many nice anecdotes. Jazakumullah to you once again. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our time with you. So, a fond assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I send you my salam, warm salam from Belgium. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.